Love it. We are going to Spain. Our favorite
Yes.
Olympic gold medalist, Joe Jacobi.
Actually, I can do better than Spain, Charlie. I'm in Catalonia right now.
Nice.
I'm just going to show you outside my window. If you look at the edge of the mountain, you're looking just about the village where Kilian Jornet was born and raised.
Nice. Well, there's a guy that knows a little bit about running.
Well, it's
and I immediately
it's
spotted your carbon. I immediately spotted your carbon fiber collection behind you. So you got some nice paddles there.
Well, come and paddle, come and run with me over here. You know, Kilian has had an incredible impact on the enthusiast level trail running scene over here. Yeah. And, you know, we have a wonderful series of races, but I think it kind of gets into the question, like, honestly, I could have heard you talk for an hour about, you know, how Charlie sort of sees Born to Run, you know, and that element, like, it, you know, I read the book only recently and it hit me like a bolt of lightning. It was like, wow, when you sort of connect our existence to our ability to run for long distance, it is really powerful. It does exist inside of all of us. I think just sort of my thought that is sort of turned into a question is that, you know, ultimately everyone has to make that choice whether to run or not. It's a pretty spiritual activity for me. I stopped running with technology about 3.5 years ago, and it's freaking amazing. It's just a way to sort of talk with myself, talk with nature. But, you know, I still think that one of the biggest, if we talk about setting the conditions for encouraging people to run, like I still look at like all these social media posts, like if you're not doing something super hard, super long, super intense, like, you know, no one really feels like it's real. Like if I don't have like a finisher's medal to like, you know, a Spartan race or something really hard, how do you sort of think about just the softer entry side into kind of getting people moving in nature?
Man, such an amazing question. Thank you for that. And I'm all levels of jealous about where you are right now. But what strikes me is
come here.
All right, with Kilian especially is he's such a high level, you know, guy and mountain runner and just all the stuff that he's accomplished. Yet, even with him, 98% of his running is done in silence without social media. You know, the 2% is incredibly impressive. And like when you do see that, it's like, holy cow, that's crazy. But, you know, what I encourage people all the time, and you really nailed it, is getting out in nature, moving your body. First of all, the other thing, maybe it's because I'm 60 now, my attitude's just changed. Nobody gives a shit what you're doing and what your time is and what, like, I'm not saying we don't admire and like, we'll see somebody run a super fast marathon or see something that Kilian does. And yes, that's super impressive. The Barkley was just last week. And so like, I followed that crazy race in Tennessee for, you know, 3 days and watched 3 people that I knew actually finish that race. And like, it was fun to like follow and see this kind of thing. But the vast majority of my running, nobody ever knows about it. I've run 150,000 miles and 99.9% of those have just been me by myself going out my front door for a run because it's my place where I'm happy. I don't go technology free. I will freely admit I'm on Whoop's advisory board, and so I do use a wearable device to kind of track overall things, but it's never about pace. And in fact, for years, I've only run for time and never for distance. So I budget my day in a way where if I know I have an hour and a half later today that I can go out for a run, that's how much time I have. And if I feel amazing today, or I'm training for something in particular, then that 90 minutes might mean I run, I don't know, 12 or 13 miles or something. If I feel like crap and half of the run is actually walking, I might go 6 miles in 90 minutes. It doesn't matter. I spent 90 minutes outside, breathing fresh air, listening to birds. I also happen to have gotten lucky. My wife is a world-renowned wildlife biologist and a great runner, and someone who actually knows every bird that we ever hear. And she, being out in nature with someone that actually, knows what they're looking at is also a gift for me. But to your point, I think it for anybody on here that's thinking about running, and like but somehow you're being held back by your perception of what running is. You can change that perception. And frankly, it just starts with walking. Even everybody I ever started on a running program, I'm just like, go for a 30-minute walk, and 3 or 4 times during that walk, just start jogging, not running, but just for like 30 seconds. Just do a little jog to the next telephone pole and then walk some more. You should finish feeling energized and powerful, not beaten down and exhausted. That can come later if you really get serious about it. So,
well, Charlie, the only thing I'll add is when I coach clients to do the same thing that you just said, my challenge is to come home, look in the mirror, and ask yourself, was I a walker today or a runner? And if you say walker, you're wrong.
yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, that's it. Like, you're a runner, like, and I just heard it, like Charlie's walking too. And it's like, it doesn't matter. But, if you run a little bit, you can start to move into that identity. And I do think that helps a lot. Thank you so much for the conversation today.
You're welcome. I'll say one more thing. I'm a big fan of Jeff Galloway, my old friend, and he's, he's the walking guru. And I ran the Big Sur Marathon with him and 200 other people years ago. And we ran for 30 seconds and walked for 30 seconds for the entire 26 miles. 26.2 miles, and we ran a 4.5-hour marathon collectively, and we walked fully half of it. And it just goes to show you, walking doesn't mean you're going slow. Steady movement always wins the day. So 100%. Yeah, thank you, brother.